Hello, you. It's me. And this woman, her name is Natalie. And she has a following of about 80,000 or so. She's got a good, strong following. Good for her. But she has received a lot of backlash because she made a point of talking about this teen girl who was working at a store, greeted her very kindly, and this woman, Natalie, got upset because this teen girl was wearing pimple patches. Somehow, pimple patches were extremely unprofessional, and it really rubbed her the wrong way. And I have heard in passing about pimple patches, but I didn't really know anything about it. That didn't exist as far as I knew when I was a teenager. So I looked into it and to see what it was, and I think it's brilliant. I love it. It's a little patch that you put on a pimple, and what it does is heals the pimple. And this woman, Natalie, was saying, oh, why don't they cover it up with cover up? Why are they wearing a stupid pimple patch on their face? Well, first of all, when I was a teenager, I didn't get a lot of acne, but I'd get like one big pimple every month. And girls know. So I get one big pimple, and I try desperately to cover it up with concealer and makeup and whatever I could do. And really, you could still see it. No matter how much cover up you put on. I didn't I didn't know that much about makeup like a lot of teens don't. Now they do, because they have YouTube, as well as like Sephora and Ulta, sorry. They didn't have all that stuff. And I had no idea that you can get a heavy concealer or a lighter one that's more translucent, transparent, whatever. Transparent. I didn't know about any of that stuff. And so we would try to cover it up, my friends and I. We would try to cover it up, and it still looked horrible. It didn't cover up anything. So having these little patches, they're like little stickers you put on your face that heal the pimple and, by the way, look absolutely adorable. I don't know if this is like a big trend or not because, I'm not a teenager. And I've never seen anybody out in the wild with a pimple patch on. But I saw numerous photos of teens with the pimple patches. They have stars across their forehead or little happy faces. Or, heck, I even saw one girl who was wearing Hello Kitty pimple patches. I was like, oh my God, that is adorable. Why would anyone care? They're covering up their pimple. They're helping it to heal. And it looks so cute. The boys, the girls, it just looks so cute. I think it's amazing. I love it. And I would imagine if you could find a pimple patch that was close to your skin color, that would conceal it if you felt embarrassed. Maybe put a little makeup around it to kind of blend it in. I mean, if you really need to do that. But I think it's great that these teenagers are it's like an art form. It's like a self-expression. I got a pimple, but look I'm a star. I doubt they say that. But I just think it is so great that these things exist. And I just look at this woman, I'm like, are you jealous? Because, you didn't have these when you were younger. I don't know how old this woman is, but she She doesn't look like a teenager, that's for sure. And she did mention that she had acne issues, but then you would think she would understand. I am telling you right now, if I were a teenager right now and I had pimples, I would be looking for the Hello Kitty ones because they were really cute. But even the stars, even the little polka dots, whatever it is, I think it is such a great idea because it's, again, healthy for the skin, helping your pimple to heal, and cute. What is wrong with that? I don't know what this woman was thinking, but I'm glad that she got backlash because what a dumb thing to pick on a teen girl or even a teen boy, although it was a teen girl in this case. But why would you pick on them? They are healing their skin. They can't help it. Most teenagers have pimples. I mean, it's not shocker or anything, but what a great way. They're not even they're concealing the pimple itself, but they're not saying, oh my God, I don't want anyone to know I have my pimple. They're like, yeah, I have one, but look at how cute it looks. It's got a little star on it. I love that. I just think that is so cool. This is obviously just a short little video, but I got so bothered by the fact that she was so bothered about how the pimple patch looks, and that's why she was so upset by it, because it doesn't look professional. It looks fine. If I were to, I mean, in a day where people, or these days, people can have piercings all over, they can have tattoos all over. They couldn't do that when I was working, when I started working, when I was a teen. You couldn't get away with that. They wouldn't hire you. Or you'd have to take all your piercings out and hide your tattoos, because otherwise it's not professional. Now we've laxed on that, and I'm glad for that, because you shouldn't have to hide everything, unless you have like a penis on your neck or something. Maybe cover that up. But otherwise, yeah, I'm really glad that we are now opening up to what we think is professional. I think that's good. It gives more people who are talented the opportunity to have good work, good paying work, and still be themselves. I see nothing wrong with that. I think that's great. This woman, I don't know what her problem is. I really don't. Talking about unprofessional, picking on a teen girl who was helping to heal her skin, and then complaining about looks. What is she, one of Gypsy's minions? Because that's all they talk about. At least that's all I've heard. I was listening to a live, I guess it was one of Bree's lives, and that's all they seem to talk about is, forget what that woman said. She's ugly, she's old, she's balding, and she doesn't have a man. Since when did that matter as far as the value of someone? It just is so ridiculous that even that message that they left on one of my videos about, don't listen to Nina, she lies and she's ugly. Well, subjective, first of all. I think Nina's a very beautiful woman. Flawless Nina. But I just think it's very low and surface level intelligence, which means not too bright. If all you have to say about somebody is that they're ugly, she's got an ugly nose, she's got a big nose, she's got a balding head, she's, the thing about not having a man, I'm like, haven't we gone far enough to where we don't say that about people? But I guess we do. I guess people still think that if you don't have a partner in life, then your life is not valuable, no matter what you do. And I just think that's wrong. It's literally what you do that makes you a valuable person. Do you help others? Do you make them laugh? Do you Are you a lawyer and help support them through a bad time? There's so many things that you can do. You can feed a homeless person for a day. There's so many things you can do to be a valuable person. And whether or not you do or don't have a partner isn't one of them. It's always wonderful to have a partner, somebody that you feel is there by your side, help take care of you if you're sick, you take care of them when they're sick, doing everything together. That's great. That's valuable as well. But even if you don't have that, that doesn't make you any less valuable. In fact, I think it's good that we promote that it's okay to be by yourself and take your time and wait for the right person. Go out, meet people, have a good time, have fun. I always say the best way to meet somebody is by doing something you love to do that maybe they also love to do. And so you have something in common. But I think it's also good to know that it's okay to be by yourself. You're still a valuable, loving, wonderful person alone or with a partner. So having Gypsy's little gang, demean somebody because they don't got no man, it's really stupid. And honestly, for some people who might be sensitive to that, it could be really cruel. I don't understand how easy it is for Gypsy's gang to be so cruel to everybody. There's good people out there in the world too, but it just seems so dumb to pick on people for things like that. They were even picking on a person who claimed that they did have a husband who died, and then they're like, yeah, right, I bet you didn't even have a husband that died. It's like, what are you even talking about? I don't like people like that. The only thing they have to say is about your looks. They never have anything beyond that. They never seem to have any real evidence that you're a bad person. You're just ugly. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I hope this teen girl doesn't take it personally, walks with her head held high and proud, pimple patches or not, that she's a good person and that this Natalie woman is just dumb. That's all there is. She's just not a very smart person, because you don't judge somebody for pimple patches, especially when they're a teen person, teen female, teen male, it doesn't matter. Or even if you're an adult, if you're somebody who's in their 60s who has pimple problems, wear that patch proudly. Who cares? Again, and I probably said this a million times, it's adorable. It's so cute. What's wrong with it? Have fun with it. It's like a lot of ladies that I've seen who have alopecia, who have lost hair due to age, or awful cancer, which sucks ass. But people lose their hair for a lot of reasons. And I see these women, it amazes me, because they're not embarrassed to say, yeah, I'm bald. See, I'm bald. I have little patches of hair. I just shave it down and wear wigs. I think that's the coolest thing ever. They are so comfortable and confident in themselves. And those wigs are amazing. And they're not all like $500 wigs. Some of them, or $2,000 wigs, they can go up really high. But they're just affordable wigs that look good, that look very realistic. I personally would not know whether they were wearing a wig or not, because they look really nice. But I love the fact that they're also not embarrassed to show themselves without the wig. with just a bare head and like, yeah, I'm bald, but this is how I solve it. I put on a wig. I love it. I've got like 50 wigs, different colors, different styles, different lengths. I think that is so cool. I love that. And people like this woman here will probably make fun of that too. She's not a great person. I mean, I'm hoping she'll grow, she'll learn, she'll change, and with all the backlash, maybe realize that she's a little out of pocket and should think about what she says and maybe change her way of thinking. That pimple patches aren't unprofessional. They're just a cute way to help your face heal. That's it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for getting this far. And that's all I gotta say.